Let's go to this comment here from Paul. First time I ever left a football game before end of third quarter. Only game I was going to be able to attend. May consider South Bend. Ugh, Fran Brown needs to at least start kicking the tires on Luke Carney. Paul, if I were in attendance with you, I'd probably leave around the same time as well. I completely understand it. I was actually at a Jets-Bills game a couple of weeks ago. Big New York Jets fan. I've mentioned it a few times here on the podcast. They're playing Monday night against Miami, and I'm actually in South Florida, and I'm not even attending that game because it's a freaking tank off in that one. So I totally understand leaving game early. I left that Jets-Bills game in early fourth quarter. Was with a buddy of mine, and he was a Bills fan, so that's why we probably stayed a little bit longer, but I understand it. Regarding Luke Carney, either way, Paul, he's got to be ready. Because assuming he is, or he was the third string quarterback, with Steve Angeli out the entire season and nobody else is coming in now, it's just whatever you got in your room. You can't use the transfer portal mid-season to add players. Luke Carney is one snap away. So every week, Luke Carney is going to have to prepare like he is going to start the game, because if something happens to Rickie Collins, or maybe he underperforms, whatever the case may be, Luke Carney has got to be ready to get in there in moment's notice, just like how Rickie Collins was one play away when Steve Angeli was the quarterback. So Luke Carney, he's got to be ready one way or another to start games for Syracuse football, because it seems like he's their backup quarterback for the remainder of the season. But thank you so much for the comment there. Paul, let's go to at TDs-42099. I agree about being fooled, Jackson. This team never quits, in my opinion, but they did today for first time in Fran Brown era, and it was really disappointing to see. I think Rickie and the offense can improve over time, but on the road against SMU next week will probably be another rough week. Thank you so much for the comment there. We'll get into SMU more in depth later on in the week. I do think it'll be a very difficult test once again for Syracuse football, going on the road against a team last year that was in the college football playoff. And I understand that SMU is not having the same season like they did last year, but I still think this is a pretty formidable squad that Syracuse will be facing. As far as quitting is concerned, when I said that I felt fooled by Syracuse, it was more so I thought that they were going to perform better, that they were not really going to miss that much of a beat despite changing the quarterback, because I fell for the idea that, hey, Rickie Collins was neck and neck with Steve Angeli, and if Steve Angeli was performing at a high level, that means Rickie Collins should probably perform at a high level. So that's what I mean when I say I got fooled. But as far as the team quitting is concerned, I don't know if I would say they quit, because I do think they battled in this game from start to finish. They battled down 31-3. They just had a failed fourth down conversion. I think it was late third quarter, early fourth quarter, whatever the case may be. They tried to get that garbage time touchdown on the last play of the game. They were calling timeouts to try to get that touchdown, but unfortunately, they could not just punch it in there. I think the better way to describe Syracuse's performance against Duke is not that the team quit. It's that they were lifeless. They really didn't show much of a pulse from the Jonte Cook fumble forward. After the Jonte Cook fumble, where the targeting, you can debate it. I know Fran Brown said in his press conference that it was the right call by the officials, that it wasn't targeting. Whatever the case may be, I'm done, honestly, trying to argue targeting or not. I don't think anyone actually knows what targeting is anymore. That's neither here nor there. But I think from that moment forward, Syracuse really couldn't get itself going. They didn't really seem to be able to flip that switch and start playing better football. So it's not that they quit. It's just that they were lifeless from that point on. But I get it, because when a team looks lifeless, that could be interpreted as the team was quitting, or it looks that way maybe. But I don't think they were quitting. I think they battled from start to finish. That being said, me saying that is to say, I mean, that's the bare minimum expectation. The bare minimum expectation is that you go out there, you do your best, you try your best, and that you're not going to quit. Even if the game gets out of hand, you're still going to continue playing from whistle to whistle, from 60 minutes on the clock, whatever the case may be. You get the idea. I don't think they quit, but they were definitely lifeless in the performance on Saturday. Let's get to another comment here from Patrick. Yeah, they were outplayed this game in all phases. They will learn, and this will undoubtedly be their worst game of the year. Rickie will get much better as well. He is a talented kid. Well, Fran Brown actually, in his post-game press conference, said it can't really get much worse. Spoiler alert, actually. I know this from experience. I think we all know this from experience. Watching any of our favorite sports teams, it can always get worse. Let's just put it that way. But I get what Fran Brown is saying. Patrick, I understand what you're saying as well. Losing 38-3 at home against Duke, I mean, it's hard to get worse than that. And you're right that Syracuse in this game did nothing well. Nothing well. That's why I don't put this game 100% on quarterback Rickie Collins, because what unit performed? Was the offense around Rickie Collins good either? No, absolutely not. They kept shooting itself in the foot. Jonte Cook's second fumble was inexcusable. The offense had penalties too. Getting backed up near the own goal line. It was not just on Rickie Collins, but the offense was not very good. They only scored 3 points. So we can't say it was all Rickie Collins. The defense, I mean, defense was just terrible. We'll get into the defense in the next segment, but it was absolutely pathetic. The special teams even had some miscues. We went over them in the postgame show yesterday, how I don't know what Davian Kerr is doing catching a punt inside the 5-yard line. You don't catch a punt inside the 5-yard line. That's just a no-no. Jaden Hart on a couple kickoffs. I mean, I don't know what he's doing trying to return the kick. Just take the ball at the 25. If you're going to return a kick on a kick return, then you better return that sucker. Like, get to the 25 or more, because otherwise you lose field position. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to return it most of the time. Now, as far as Rickie Collins having talent, Patrick, he does have talent. He absolutely has talent. He's a former 4-star quarterback recruit out of Louisiana that originally went to LSU. LSU doesn't recruit guys to their program if they're not very good, if they're not very talented. That's not to say Syracuse recruits guys that aren't very talented, whatever the case may be. The point is that LSU is a different type of program here. So if they see something in you out of high school, it's for a reason. So clearly Rickie Collins has talent. But at this point, this is now his 3rd year in college. His 3rd year. I understand he doesn't have a lot of playing time, but it's his 3rd year in college. He has talent. Great. It's Division I football, though. It's more than just talent. How many guys, to borrow a phrase from Miracle, from Herb Brooks, you can't win on talent. You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. How many guys in college football are the opposite of that, where they're just so good, it does not matter? Maybe only a handful of guys, if we're being honest. And with the quarterback, can he process a defense correctly pre-snap? Can he deliver on time and accurate balls on a consistent basis? Not occasionally, consistently. Can he be a leader? Leadership is very important at quarterback. The quarterback is the general, not just of the offense, but really the entire team. So it's not just about talent with Rickie Collins. He's got a lot of talent. That's great. So does everyone else, essentially. This is Division I football now.